the old games don't hold up. So like it's weird because the early 2000s Resident Evil games just they didn't hold up. Like you had Code Veronica, you had Outbreak, all of that, and you could feel like that controls system like just it's not working so lekker anymore. Because you know, like it's like PS2 era now. Things are a bit more sophisticated.
Yeah.
You're like, does this?
But also, isn't that what you want though? You want a game that's made for now. Like it's made with the optimum. Because one thing with Resident Evil, I always feel like the graphics was always the most current. Like the cutscenes and stuff that they were rolling with.
Yeah. For the time,
It's like, what's his name? Final Fantasy.
Yeah. It looked clean.
The cutscenes were always good. Even if the gameplay was whatever, I'm not a fan of it, but it always looked good.
Yeah.
But then you go in a year's time, you go, yay.
But one of the things, and I don't know if you have this to talk about, but one of the things that made it always look good, even, well, maybe from 2 onwards, is the pre-rendered 3D backgrounds with a fixed camera angle.
Yes.
So the pre-rendered 3D backgrounds looked amazing for the time. And then you've got your maybe a little bit lower res character running through it. But that's what always made Resident Evil stand out just because it always looked clean, man. Like it really did.
Didn't notice that. They used the same technology like Mortal Kombat in the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
just make the character look real. It doesn't need to be real, but just look real.
But they did the other way with Resident Evil. Make the background look real. And then the character can look more blocky. It's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, Resident Evil was of the first, I think, games where you could shoot the dogs.
Yeah, we had to.
You actually wanted to because these dogs were like, nah.
And how did you feel about that, Brad? Because Brad does great work for dogs. Brad has a gang of dogs by his house, if you don't know.
What I will say is that needs be, man. Like
those bitches were asking.
Yeah. But talking about the dogs, and we'll move on to the next round of games now, but the very first jump scare in Resident Evil 1, jump scare, not the first scare of the zombie. And it's one of the most iconic jump scares in gaming. Like people still talk about it, is when the dogs jump through the window in RE1. You don't see it coming. You're walking down this hall and everything seems chilled.
And just
smash through the glass.
And you're just like, oh shit, I'm not... It's the first encounter you have with dogs. So you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Shoot the dogs. Shoot the dogs.
But yeah, the early 2000s for Resident Evil were a bit rough because it was still trying to hold on to those tank controls, the fixed camera angles, and PS2 was like, nah, guys, we beyond this. We've moved on, and that kind of led them to go in a different direction.
So PS1 had what Resident Evils?
PS1 had of the mainline series 1, 2, 3, and then it also had
on PS1.
Yeah, and then it also had Resident Evil Survivor, which was like a light gun game. It's not good.
No,
it's not good at all. I actually had that, and
did you have the gun?
No, I didn't. You could use the controller. That's how bad it was. You could use the controller, and it was no different. So
imagine playing Duck Hunt with a controller.
Nah,
it's not right. So then, what did PS2 have?
PS2 had Resident Evil Survivor. It had Resident Evil... No, Zero was on GameCube at that generation. Resident Evil Zero. Then there was Dead Aim, which was also a light gun game.
It's a lot.
Outbreak, File 1 and 2. And Code Veronica. Those were like the ones that came out then. And then on Game Boy, there was Resident Evil Gaiden, which was also not great.
Yeah.
But you're forgetting... The big boy on PS2.
I wanted to lean into that. So like, this was still like the old scheme.
Yeah.
Then they were like, nah, we have to do something new with this. So first, they came out more action heavy game, but more supernatural. Capcom was like, nah. And they came out with Devil May Cry. They took the formula for that.
Oh.
And they made the original Devil May Cry, which, here's a fun fact. This started like the whole hack and slash action revolution, which in a way led to like God of War coming about.
Yeah.
So in a way, Resident Evil is responsible for God of War.
Yeah.